the remote. Okay. Try to see if we can increase the brightness. Hope it's not bad. Welcome to the live. I'll be sure that it's not too bright. And this is stable also. So let me know if you can hear me. Welcome to the live. Who is forced to join in? Welcome to the live. Okay. Let me know if you can hear me. Welcome. Hello, Xian. Xian is here. Xian, welcome. Thank you for joining in. Please confirm that you can hear me. Am I audible? How are you doing, Xian? Okay, loud and clear. Rideli. Hope I got that pronunciation. Welcome to this live. This is early streaming. We have about 3 minutes before the scheduled time. So thank you for joining in early. Please confirm where you're watching from. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Please confirm where you're watching from. I want to welcome you to this live. Hello. So I can see read daily 1 times. Okay, Canada. Welcome from Canada. Thank you for joining in. Where are you watching from? Rideli is from Canada. Xian is from the United States. Am I right? Xian says she can hear me. Everyone in the chat, please let me know if you can hear me as clearly as Xian has also responded. Please remember to double tap on your screen to like this live. You may like to share the link with people in your world. This promises to be quite engaging and interesting. Okay, Ridley1X. Oh, thank you for calling my attention to that. Okay, so it's Ridley1X. Thank you so much. Thank you. So sorry for mixing the name. Okay. I hope I won't have to put Xian off. Xian is already trying to get attention of people. No problem, Xian. People are going to subscribe to your channel once they get in, they check you. There's no problem about connecting, but I don't want us to be distracted in any way from the purpose of this live stream. You know, as a family physician, the practicing medical doctor, I have some few years of experience, and I've come to see different things, you know, including the fact that I didn't know that by the time I'll be practicing at this time, practicing as a family physician, I'll be seeing more people living with hypertension than has ever been known. Okay, so this a very, uh, do I call it saddening? Very concerning. Is quite uh, a matter of my heart to see how people develop complications from poorly managed or uncontrolled hypertension. You know, there are other chronic medical conditions that people have, and once it's not well controlled, definitely complications can arise. So, welcome everyone joining in. Please give this live a like. Just double tap on your device. I'm sure you can get that effect on this live. So I really appreciate your joining in. And for those who are just joining in, or if you have been here, please let us know where you are joining from. Live streaming from Lagos, Nigeria, and a family physician, practicing medical doctor, and I am passionate about educating the public about health and wellness, prevention, and how to manage conditions that people have, especially chronic medical conditions. I'm very interested and really committed to practice in reproductive health. I see a lot of people with different challenges, you know, when it comes to sexual health, and I see myself as a family physician playing that role well, helping people to get their footing when it comes to reproductive health. So, is it true there is a strike in Nigeria? Yes, Ridley, what X? Are you a Nigerian? So, no problem about that. Ridley, one times. Yes, there is an ongoing strike by the National Association of Resident Doctors in Nigeria, and a lot has been happening. This is day 18 of the strike. Of course, that's affecting a lot of things, especially patients who need care in public hospitals. All right, so that's one challenge that's ongoing when it comes to the medical practice in Nigeria. So thank you for the like. I can see we have one like already. Welcome you to the live. Thank you. Let's know where you are watching from. Where are you watching from? Signs of unhealthy marriage. That's what we are looking at. Signs of unhealthy marriage. Okay, maybe we need to change location. There seems to be a network challenge there. Let me know if you can still hear me. Please confirm that you can hear me. There seems to be a challenge with network on my side, so I need to change my location. Please confirm that you can hear me. Am I audible? Okay, thank you, Riley. 1X. Thank you for the feedback. Um, I believe the network should be stable now. So we are looking at some very important topic in this session on this live, and I can tell you that just like yeah, so many challenges, yet people are not speaking out. But I recently have been looking at this aspect of our health, talking about our social health, talking about how our relationships affect our overall health. Of course, the same way you know that you are of the spirit, you have a soul and you live in a body, that tripartite being of man is there. And so if any of these parts is unstable, such a life, such an individual's health uh, cannot be said to be stable. Interestingly, according to the World Health Organization, health is defined as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. Okay, that's health. It's not just the absence of disease or infirmity. I hope my lighting is okay. All right. All right. There must be something. For me, as your doctor, I'm not just interested in your physical appearance. I'm not just interested in the fact that you do not have any symptom like a headache, abdominal pains. People talk about losing appetite, having body pains. Okay, these are very important symptoms to any doctor and needs to be handled appropriately. But I'm also interested in your social health. I'm interested in your spiritual health. As a family physician, I believe that your relationships, just like I expect that a doctor, any doctor should know that your relationships have influences on your health. Okay. For example, some people's social aspects has to do with taking alcohol, and there's so much effect that that can have on the health of an individual. Talking about the effect on the liver, the effect even on the blood, effect on the heart, and things like that. So, but some people sometimes are wondering why they are feeling drained, and they check every other thing. It's not their work, it's not relationship. Talking about marital relationships. People feel emotionally drained. People feel emotionally exhausted, and the fact is that some people actually do not express this in terms of communication. They don't talk about it, and yet they are going through a lot. It's affecting their health. In fact, it's one of the reasons why some people have insomnia. They have inability to achieve or sustain sleep, and some other people may be having recurrent headaches just because they have an unstable relationship, a relationship that is bringing so much tension to their lives, to their health. So what I found out is that some people don't actually need medications. What they need is counseling. They need prayers. They need to take some decisions that will help them to live better lives. Please let me know if you can still hear me. Am I audible? Redo Ridley 1X. Are you still there? And everyone that is watching and you are yet to introduce yourself, please introduce yourself so that I can welcome you specially. so I can give you a shout out. Okay, Shian, are you still there? And then remember to give this live a like by double tapping on your screen, and you can actually look for the like button and give this video a thumbs up, this live session a thumbs up. So why should you be emotionally drained when you can actually receive help? So one of the reasons why we are doing this, so I can see Ridley 1X saying therapy very important. Therapy is very important. You know, there are all kinds of therapies. You know, we talk about medications, we talk about the need for psychotherapy, uh, physiotherapy, you know, different types of treatment that people need, different types of care that individuals need. And sometimes we can generalize this, but as a practicing doctor, I need to let you know that there is always a need to individualize and personalize people's experiences and their care, the need that they have. So if you are experiencing some tension in your relationships, in your marriage, and it's affecting your health, then you need to talk, you need to speak out, and you need to find the solution to that. Now, what are the signs? What are the signs of an unhealthy marriage? Marriage affects people's health. That's the fact. But people don't really pay attention. People talk about it, but they don't really know the extent of the effects. Whether you talk about emotional stress, you talk about the mental, psychological stress, you talk about the effects on other aspects of life, diet, loss of appetite, loss of strength, I talk about recurrent headaches, inability to sleep. In fact, it can even affect the interest that an individual has towards their spouse in terms of intimacy. Okay, people don't even think about that because they are overwhelmed by their emotions. So when is stress okay? It's okay to have some little stress to help make progress. Okay, but there are other times that stress could be overwhelming. It could lead even to burn out. People now needing to be admitted to the hospital because of failing relationships. Okay, rightly, one X says, but there's a shortage of it in Nigeria. Okay, thank you for that comment. Shortage. Let's see how we still get this done. Rightly 1X. He said, but let me know as soon as you can hear and you can see the video. Welcome. So I'm going to just take it slowly. We're not going to rush this now. All right. Seems we have shortage of words in Nigeria. Rightly 1X. You mean there's a shortage of what? Shortage of what? Is it therapy or therapists? Is it the shortage of the professionals to handle people? Welcome to the live. Let's know where you are watching from. Thank you for joining in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Where are you watching from? Where are you watching from? And what time is it in your location? How are you doing today? Please give this live a like, give this live a thumbs up to help more. Rightly, I want to get your point there. So there's a shortage of what? You mean shortage of therapy or shortage of therapists in Nigeria? The fact that there's no denying that fact, there's no denying the fact that when it comes to professionals in Nigeria, the issue is not about the training or quality of the professionals, but the numbers. Thank God for Jackpot syndrome. Thank God for those who are still in Nigeria, but the numbers are now skyrocketing when it comes to the ratio of professionals to patients. Talking about doctors, you're talking about 10,000s in thousands, one doctor to thousands of patients. So you can imagine the burden, you can imagine the stress levels that doctors may have to deal with. Hey, devotionals from the fountain. Thank you for joining in. Okay, devotionals from the fountain says, hi, doctor. Thank you, thank you. Sleep, sleep. I want to get that. Sleep. Okay, yes, how you relax after a time to relax. Yeah, it's very important. Some people do it by still watching their favorite TV program, watching something on YouTube. Some people by communicating with their spouse. People have different ways of relaxing. So sleep is very. Thank you for the second like. Thank you for the second like. Thank you. We just gave that. Thank you so much. Let's have more likes to this live. All right. So what is it about couples? What is it that makes someone that you love or someone that says that claims or says they love you? What makes that tension? What brings about so many reasons? People have reasons for different experiences that they have in marriage. So we are not particular about what is causing what, who is responsible for what, but we are actually, I am concerned about the health implications of the tensions that people experience in marriage. People are not speaking out, and occasionally I have the opportunity to hear and to be of help uh, based on my position as a doctor to help people to get out of these kind of experiences, treating the medical needs, physical, and then appropriately counseling, appropriately helping people to navigate this particular aspects of their lives. Okay, devotionals from the fountain says, fine, thank you. Please, where are you watching from? Devotionals from the fountain. And are you subscribed to the channel? Please let me know in the chat. Have you been subscribed to the channel, or this is your first time coming across my channel? Thank you for joining in. Please, if you are yet to like the live, please like the live. So what happens when the person that you love now becomes like a source of stress for you, and maybe you are actually being the source of stress to them also, okay? But the fact is that people have challenges in marriage, and people wait until it gets overwhelming before they speak out. A lot of people have triggered conditions like hypertension, diabetes, and even some immunity uh, challenges, reduction in their immunity because of loss of appetite, they're not eating well adequately, and their immune system drops. So other infections can just come in. So people are suffering from that effect. So many things coming up from just having some kind of emotional instability with their spouse. So, what are the signs that are there to know that this is an unhealthy marriage? What everyone wants, what I believe you as an individual, a spouse, is that you want a peaceful marriage, you want a peaceful relationship, you want to grow, you want to grow in love, you want to grow in connection with your spouse, you want to grow together into old age and to achieve, God's purpose for your lives. Very good intentions. But the fact is that God has done his own part, and he will continue to remain, he will continue to be committed, to helping you as a couple. But you as an individual, you have your part to play, you have your role to play. So what are the signs, that you are actually in an unhealthy marriage? The same way you know that you have some symptoms, some signs to show that you are unhealthy as an individual, there are different signs to show that this person or this couple are in an unhealthy marriage. Does it mean that they are not supposed to be together? No, not necessarily. But there needs to be some treatment of that marriage. And the treatment has to be treatment for all, for the couples involved. It's not about treating one and leaving the other. All right. So thank you, Devotionals for the Fountain. Says it takes understanding on both parties. Yes, understanding is a critical aspect. I like that contribution. The understanding is a critical aspect when it comes to fellowshipping well and enjoying your relationship. So, but you need to break it down. Understanding of what is understanding of situation, understanding of the individual that you are in relationship with. For me, I'm going to share with you some of the things that I think are important when it comes to recovering and staying healthy in a marriage. Sign one. Let me know if you are there. Sign one. Sign one. The first sign that is not really according to the level of impact, but this one sign, feeling emotionally exhausted. There is that emotional side of man, whether you talk about man in terms of male or man in terms of female, there is that emotional side that feels, that needs some touch, some reassurance, some experience of love. So when you sometimes wake up, you are tired even after you have slept over the night, maybe due to this emotional drain, there's no support, there's no sense of connection with your partner. These are some of the things that happen. Your mind may feel heavy. You may feel sometimes that even your chest is tight. That's worry, anxiety, maybe setting in. And sometimes, even when you are supposed to be communicating with your spouse, you are beginning to have some palpitations, some experiences that you cannot sometimes even describe. You may not even want to connect it to your relationship. But when you meet with your doctor, these are some of the things that your doctor can pick from your sharing your experience. So that's one sign, feeling emotionally exhausted. Sign number two is feeling lonely even when you are in a relationship. It's not healthy to, you didn't marry yourself, that's the fact. If you didn't need to be with another person, then it would have been good for you to be alone. But God designed it that man should not be alone. And that is God's provision is for partnership, is in marriage. And of course, there are many other relationships that you can have. But those relationships cannot be compared to the relationship that you have in marriage. It's a covenant relationship, and it should be a very strong relationship. In fact, the way God described it, the Bible describes it as the relationship that Jesus has with the church, and that is so strong. So if you are feeling alone or you even feel lonely, feeling alone means that you are doing things just by yourself, even though you are supposed to be two that have become one, doing things together. Now you're just feeling that you are just one, the only one doing things. Then this is one sign that you are having an unhealthy marriage, because that's not what God designed marriage to be, that you live alone, even though you still have your individual lives to live. But there must be that sense of connection, that sense of the other person being present, and their presence being meaningful, their presence bringing so much input and impact to your life, to your marriage, and to the family. Okay, so that's what God has designed. So even when you are together, maybe you even work together, you do things together, but inside, on the inside, you feel isolated, you feel separated. You sometimes talk, but you don't feel that you are heard. You share problems, but you don't feel supported. There is that emotional disconnection, which happens in the heart. So self-esteem is another thing. Self-esteem may be affected. There's a reduction in mental strength. You know, those are other signs of an unhealthy marriage. Let me know if you can hear me. Are you following? Let me know in the chat if you are watching. I know quite a number of people are watching. The numbers sometimes does not reflect. Okay, but let me know if you are here and you can hear me clearly. Let me know if you can hear me clearly. I hope very audible. So I've just shared two of the signs, some signals that you're having an unhealthy relationship. So that feeling of loneliness is one very sensitive part, because what's the essence of being together, living together, and still feeling lonely or alone? So it means there's a work that must be done on either side. Okay, there are a number of women and even men who feel lonely even though they are married. Okay, your spouse may even travel some distance, and you still feel that they are with you. And of course, there are different ways when it comes to being with you, because of the foundation that you have in your relationship, because of the opportunity and possibilities of communication, and that really goes a long way. What's the third sign? The third sign that you are having an unhealthy marriage is when you have fear in your heart. You know, there is no fear in love. The Bible says that perfect love casts out fear. Okay, so that means that whatever it is that is making you afraid of your spouse, afraid of your relationship, then that is not of God, definitely. So when you are constantly walking on eggshells, you are afraid, you're trying to avoid arguments, you're trying to suppress your feelings, just to keep peace. You are not expressive, you don't feel free, then that's not healthy. Mental health means that it's under pressure. Under pressure. It's just yet to explode. Marriage that silences you is actually dangerous. So you must be willing to speak. Sometimes it's not even about uh, that willingness to speak. It's just that people don't see it as important. Both parties must see communication as important, must give time to it, must pay attention to it, and you must understand when and how your spouse gets to relate uh, well and better. So you shouldn't allow fear in any way. That's the third sign. When there is fear, you are afraid to speak. When you are afraid to speak your mind, then that's a sign of an unhealthy marriage. Let me know if you can hear me. So the next point, the fourth sign, has to do with when every issue, every matter turns to matter of tension. That's another one. Fighting, always quarreling, having one or two things to say. So it's always good to try to make peace. Try to make peace. So when misunderstandings are happening, frequently, conflicts, tension, you feel tense, you feel that you don't have peace in your heart, in your home, then that's a sign of an unhealthy marriage. And that definitely is one way that leads to people developing some mental health issues like anxiety, depression, may even be acute stress disorder. So we need to check this. Let me know if you can hear me. The next point, when it comes to signs of an unhealthy marriage, is when you have lost yourself. People tend to lose themselves. I spoke on that in the video I did some days ago on what marriage is doing to you, why you feel exhausted, why you feel drained, what's happening to you and to your mental health in your marriage. So some people begin to lose their interest in their hobbies. They even be doing sports, losing interest in interacting socially with other people. They even begin to lose confidence in themselves. They feel less than who they are. So when your self-confidence begins to go down, it's while you are in marriage. Marriage is supposed to help to even boost your confidence and to boost your mood. Life is meant to be enjoyed. Marriage is meant to be enjoyed. But if you are not doing this, you are not enjoying this, then these are signs of unhealthy marriage. That's point 5. Now, the next point is point 6, where you feel hopeless. That is not actually a good one. Normally, even for any single person, as a Christian, you should not feel hopeless. You have hope in Christ, you have hope in God, and you should not allow anything to destroy or affect your faith, even your experiences in marriage. So when you start feeling like you can't leave, you can't stay, you are not even sure, emotional paralysis is setting in, okay, hopelessness is a very important thing, and it's one area of psychological impact. It's a sign of distress in marriage. So you need to take note of that. You need to take note of that. And finally on the signs of unhealthy marriage, another one is when you begin to have some physical symptoms. I started talking about that. Some people have frequent headaches, people have body pains. Some people cannot even describe the symptoms they are having. So the stress affecting the mind may now begin to affect the body, headaches, loss of appetite, lack of sleep, chronic fatigue. So the body begins to manifest what has been going on the inside. So those are the signs. Those are some of the signs when it comes to an unhealthy marriage. Yeah, so one interesting way to deal with this is the fact that when you have the fear of God, when you have the love of God in your heart, you want the best for your spouse, you want the best for the other person. That makes a lot of difference. But where there is selfishness, there's self-centeredness, just care for self and not caring about the other, not ready to sacrifice, those are dangerous signs, dangerous ways to live, even as a spouse or Christian person in marriage. All right, so how do you protect your health? Does loving your partner mean that you shouldn't talk? No, you should learn to communicate. Communication is very key. Some people actually bottle things up, and then they keep bottling up, and then they want to pay their spouse, rather than finding time to communicate, talk about it. And when things have to be talked about, it should not be seen as a problem. It should be seen as a commitment to building your relationship. So you should be calm and clear when communicating with your spouse. Next point is that you should learn to set boundaries. When it comes to yourself, you need to know your limits. You need to also understand that you have some points where you could break. So you need to take care, you need to self-care, you need to self-love, you need to know how much of influence you will allow in the negative side, on the negative side, how much of effects what your relationship influence will have on you. So you need to also seek counsel. Counseling is very important, and early therapy works for those who are willing to. So if one spouse is willing to go through therapy and the other is not, it may affect the relationship as a whole, and that's one area you should take note of. So you must be willing to be, you must be committed, you must be ready to do the needful, do your part in ensuring a successful and progressive marriage relationship. Next point is you need to prioritize. It's still a bit related to the last point. Prioritize your mental health. You know, your peace is not optional. You need emotional stability to function well in life, to do well in every area of your life. And you need that not just for yourself, for your spouse, for your children, and everyone connected to you. And finally, you need to be committed to rebuild connection. It has to be intentional. You know, if something is going to change, of course, there's a place of prayer. You need to be prayerful. You need to be able to communicate. You need to keeping at it, even when it looks like nothing is changing. Okay, because those small daily steps, those actions of kindness, of gratitude, empathy, you know, conversations, commitment, even intimacy will help to repair as much as possible. And of course, you must let God help you. You must be willing to ask God to help you. And that definitely is something you won't take for granted. So your mental health is as important as your marriage. You know, you can only be productive, you can be effective in life as long as this aspect is also you are stable in this aspect of your life. Healthy relationship should make you stronger, should not break you actually, and you need to be committed to getting stronger by the day. So let me know what your thoughts are on this, if you have learned any lesson, and if you have any question, any contribution, please drop in the chat. And then in a few minutes, we'll be seeing how much how far we can go on this live. Okay, this like 38 minutes already. Okay, so let me know as soon as you join in. And if you have been listening and watching, let me know. Let me also know in the chat. Thank you so much for your contributions. Thank you, Shian. Thank you, Ridley 1X. And devotionals from the fountain. Thank you. Please, if you are just coming across the channel for the first time, this is a health, wellness, and lifestyle channel. I'm a practicing medical doctor, I'm a family physician. I am interested in reproductive health, family health, everything about around intimacy. Interested in mental health. I talk about chronic medical conditions like hypertension, diabetes, and these are areas of interest and practice. And I have just talked about how your relationship can affect your health and what you need to be doing to heal. That's very important. So thank you for staying tuned. Thank you for watching. I'm sure the replay will be available for you to watch and get the points. And you can actually share this with a couple or individuals that you know might benefit from this information. So thank you once again for your time and your attention. So I'll see you again soon by God's grace. Bye for now.